Yes, I am here. I am here.
The funny thing
Hello,
is,
everybody.
the
Great
funny
being here.
thing is that I was muted, so nobody could hear me anyway.
Oh,
But there
could
we
they
go.
hear me?
Maybe they could. But I understand, Graf, that the lobby is already up, so it looks like we will get a
Whoa,
prompt
whoa, whoa.
start here.
Let's hurry. I'm sure something will
Yeah.
go wrong, right?
I
We
don't
couldn't just.
know about
On
that.
the other hand, we are not Lumen.
This is
It's
true.
not like.
This is true. Okay, let's see if I can get my shit together and get into the lobby.
I can tell you one thing. This is one of the longest passwords I've seen in a long time.
You're not right, and I'm not wrong, and I am almost joining as a player as normal, but
I did that last week.
but I think we are okay. And yep, I think I'm in the lobby. So just while we're waiting, so this is the SABACC tournament. It's a relatively new tournament where we have mixed teams of various different levels, and those teams will compete in a Squadrons 5v5 fleet battle. And if you don't know what a fleet battle is, then I can help you with that. Let me see if I can do this. Not that. Here we go. It's this one. No, it isn't. What's going on? Here we go. Yes, it's this one. Just this is a very short tutorial on fleet battles that my colleague Silence has done. I hope you can hear it.
Oh, great! You have that one. No, I can't hear anything. Oh no, I have the stream muted. No, you're fine. You're fine. Or are you? No, it's no sound. It's no sound after all. First, I had muted it. It really has no sound, Evo.
It's very quiet, I know, but okay, perhaps we won't bother with that. Silas has done a really nice job, but it may
She
not
talks
work.
too.
Yeah, let's kill that one.
We have to do the voiceover.
Yeah, maybe that would work. I don't know. So anyway, let's Graf. Let's talk a little bit about the. While we're waiting for the teams to load in, let's talk a little bit about the competition. I will just go back to the teams here, and we can see we have 5 teams in the competition. We have Corellian Spike, my team. We have SABACC. We have Centron, Empress Teta, who is playing tonight against Coruscant Shift. And it's been an exciting competition so far. We have, if I can just show you the teams now. Sorry, the scoreboard now.
Yep, I see them.
Yeah, we have Corellian Spike in the lead with 9 points, but Empress Teta, one of tonight's teams, is able, if with a win tonight, to join Corellian Spike at the top of the table. And I think actually, unfortunately, we are queuing up for a quick ad, so we will run the ad and we will be right back in 90 seconds time, ready for the game.
Let's go.
As the ad actually started, yeah, okay, it's running now. One of the problems with being affiliate. It's a pain.
I actually don't see it, which is interesting because I had the ad before the stream and couldn't skip it, even though I am one of these sneaky bastards running ad blockers. But now I don't see an ad.
Okay. Well, we'll see. The teams are loading in anyway, in case people can hear us. Sagan, can you hear us okay now? I guess it was no sound on the video I was trying to play. We'll have to do that in a different way. Well, the teams are loading in anyway.
They are. Yeah, it has been an interesting tournament so far, and indeed, Empress Teta has the opportunity to pull even with Corellian Spike if they take a win home here tonight.
Yes.
On the other hand, I know that Trevor has put in some practice and knows how to steal or bring home a win, which would be very well deserved. They have played 3 matches and lost 2, some of which were quite unfortunate, and had a very well-deserved draw there in the match against Centron, the first draw we ever had here in this tournament.
Yeah, astounding actually. That it was, I think, game 7 before we got our first split, which is quite impressive. But interestingly, Graf, as you say, Coruscant a really decent team and have pulled together really well. But a win for Empress Teta tonight takes them level at the top with 9 points, and your own team still have 2 games to play, so they could also finish on 9 points with a win in your remaining matches against Centron and against Corellian Spike. So we're set up for.
Let me. I'll let you in on some secrets on how to be a bad captain. Apparently, there's 8 people in each team, and I had some of them saying, "Oh, please." Oh, I can't do during the holidays, and I'll only be back at January 7th, and that's why we only played 1 match before that date, and then I was okay. Let's play the remaining matches, but it's still, as you know, increasingly difficult getting 5 people at the same time the other team has 5 people.
Yeah,
if you technically have 8, and that's why we are struggling to getting these last 2 matches, and I know that it will be difficult fielding all the players I would like to field. We have made sure that everybody can play, but we have players on the team who haven't, as of now, not played a single match. And of course, I want them on the field as well. I further want the new players also to get their play time even more than they have so far. And getting all that together and having to coordinate with the other team, it's really not an easy task. You know that, but I apologize. There might even be a 3v3 or something when our teams face.
Well, we hope we'll be able to sort something out there, and we'll see. But it's been strange. Obviously, part of the reason behind the tournament was that it would take place at EU friendly times. So we thought there would be perhaps a few matches more like this on a weekday night. But it has been difficult, I guess, around the holidays, as you say. But so far the tournament has been super fun. We have 3 matches to play, and there is still all to play for tonight. Are we going to say Empress Teta or Empress Tata, or what are we going for tonight, Graf?
Your decision. I don't know. I can only imagine that all the team names have something to do with SABACC, probably.
They do.
Which I know nothing about.
Well,
so you probably know how to pronounce it, and I have no idea.
I do not, and your English is better than mine, as we've established on many occasions. But you're quite right. All of the team names actually are different varieties of the card game SABACC in the Star Wars universe, so we thought that would be a good spin. And each of the tiers of players are actually named after one of the suits in SABACC, so that was what we did, and then we draw those.
That much I thought, yeah. Mm-hmm. I did a lot of guesswork there, and I thought that might be the case, but I wasn't quite sure.
And then we drew the teams sort of pretty much randomly, but it's been super fun. The games have been back and forward. I see that the lobby is now full, so I think
finally.
we may be able to move across and get ready for the game. I will just tell the teams that the casters are ready, and we will get ready to get this game underway.
Yes, please.
Empress Teta, as I'm gonna go with Teta, I think.
Okay. Darkblade very fine with that.
Darkblade did get in touch with me after the last game I cast involving Empress Teta, because every time I said it in a different way, and there are at least 3 different ways of saying it, but I'm going to try and go with Teta.
Well, then at least probably you're getting it right every once in a while. I mean, that's the old joke. Would you rather have a clock that has stopped, or a clock that's a minute late every day? And then the AI would tell you, well, take the clock that's not working at all. At least that's precise 2 times a day.
Exactly right. So we have flying out for the Empire and for the Empress Teta team, Elana Insecura, Marco Pozzi, also known as Space Sheriff, of course. We have David, one of Grey Squadron's veterans from Poland. We have GMT Erisy, one of the deadliest PKs in the game, and Schneeflücken, whose idea this tournament was. And if we look over at the... Hello, this is interesting. If we look over at the... I can't seem to look at the New Republic team. This is going to be...
Oh, that is unfortunate. I can tell you, they are there, and I can see Tomata, I can see Witch Doctor, I can see Trevor Revenge, Mishka, and Paddy Batman, and it'll be interesting to see them fly out here as New Republic. I am a bit disappointed that we don't see a lot of emotes as of now, but we are at least on Foster Haven and not on the Deary Dockyards for a change. For this tournament, map is chosen randomly, but some people say, and there is evidence to support it, that the randomizer of this game favors Nadiri Dockyards for some crazy and perverse reason. And today is not one of these days. Today we are at Foster Haven and loading into the game now.
We are indeed. So we'll get this match underway. And we'll wait for the MC-75 to exit hyperspace and get this fleet battle match on. A 5v5 game where each team has to destroy 2 capital ships before moving on to the opposition's flagship. And the first team to defeat the opposition's flagship is the one to win. And each team will play once as each faction, so once as the Galactic Empire, once as the New Republic. Winner gets 3 points, and if it's a split, a point each in the league table. And actually, it's
here we are,
Empire that
coming out of
first.
Really, I've never seen that before. On my end, it was the MC-75 as it should be, and I see them fly out. And I can see Tomata in a standard farm, Y-wing, Witch Doctor as well, going straight for the middle. Tomata inside station. Trevor falling back here a bit.
Yeah.
Loading his boost. Mishka looking for Schnee. Take care there, and Paddy Batman also looking there, doubling up on Schneeflöckchen here, and Schneeflöckchen is already marked. Shields are down, Schnee is dunked and crashes. Gets in behind that asteroid. A lot of morale coming in for Trevor's team here. Empress Teta on the back foot here. If Schneeflöckchen dies, that will be the opener. Or will it? Because morale is now coming in, and actually we see Mishka go down. Mishka, of all people, went down, and I did not see how that happened.
So
apparently, Erisy picked him.
Yeah, Mishka and Schnee went down at more or less the same time there. Space Sheriff now looking at Witch Doctor. I seem to have an interesting glitch where I can't look at the New Republic team, so this could be rather unfortunate.
It is interesting. That is interesting. Not even with mouse?
No, the mouse just moves my free look around, which is very unfortunate. So
that is unfortunate.
I'm going to try and see.
Arrow keys?
Well, yes! Congratulations. Thank you. So here we go. Mate, still the morale bar.
Mishka on Erisy. Oh, Mishka gets a dunk on Erisy, but can't get the follow-up. And now looks at Schnee again. 16 seconds until timeout. Very well done. Great farming by Witch Doctor and Tomata. They are actually definitely in the lead here, but not as much as they should if we have a look at the morale bar, but it took a bit more.
Some late AI coming in there, and Trevor, rather than going off to mark the capital ships of the opposition, takes some time to shoot at Marcello there, but now is in. He gets marks out on the top frigate here, which I think is Charlie, the top cruiser. Marks go out.
Tomata gets picked.
Tomat, I missed. So there will be a lot of PK pressure from Erisy and from Space Sheriff here.
Yeah.
Looking at Mishka now.
On Erisy, but of course, very likely that there was some coordinated PK with Marcello and Erisy actually doubling up. We have shields not even down, and morale is not looking quite great. What is the defending team doing?
No, and Erisy and Mishka joust there. Mishka fancied a joust with Erisy's defender, but came off worse and goes down.
That is unfortunate. Shields are down on Charlie, but the phase is over. It wasn't a whole phase to begin with, but not the best attack that could have been, but nonetheless, Coruscant, right? Coruscant Shift took the first attack and are in the lead, but let's see how that looks after Empress Teta have had their first full attack.
Yep, so who's going to do the ion damage here? Schnee's down.
Schnee's down. Trevor made sure of that. Killing Reaper upon flip is one of his favorite things to do.
So an ion goes out from Marcello.
Oh!
Heresy also running ion
Heresy
missiles.
killed Paddy.
Oh, okay. Paddy goes down. Trevor also down at the moment. So a lot of offensive PK. We have seen a lot of player kills in this tournament. It's been a bit of a bloodbath.
Yeah.
But not necessarily the newer players.
Yeah, I mean, they get the kills, but also in some matches they die more than the older players, of course, or the more experienced. When I say older, I mean more experienced. David is shooting something, but I'm not quite sure what and why. It looks like he's farming on offense. No, now he is going back towards Charlie. Shields are down on Charlie.
Ooh. Schnee going evasive, but gets dunked. Is there going to be a finish here? Is Paddy on Schnee as well? He is, but he's too far away. Mishka can't get guns on Schnee, and she's out of the disable now. And he switches across to David. David is low, but gets the resupply. Morale still at half. Shields on the frigate are half on Alpha and already down on Bravo, so they will be able to go to town, but they're taking their time here. And
yeah, I mean, they're doing a good job. The interesting thing about Empress Teta today is that the more experienced players are in the support and the flex, which are very busy doing PK, but the responsibility for doing damage is mainly with David and Isla Insecura. Marcello Pozzi gets picked here, and
takes him down.
That means there is not a lot of damage coming in very quickly. The flexes are doing their best to extend the phase, but the duty or the burden to do damage is actually on David, who has 20k damage, and Isla Insecura is also accruing damage here. Surely...
Isla gets dunked though, but she did manage to do a good deal of damage there. She's low now though. Can she escape? I guess it's is it Mishka on her? No, it doesn't appear so. Who is on?
It was Paddy.
Ayla?
It was Paddy on Isla Insecura, but she got a resupply there. And now I don't know where Paddy Batman is going.
I often say that to him. He's a teammate of mine, and I often have that question. So Ayla also now in a bit of trouble. Unfortunately, takes a bonk, but there's a resupply there. Can she pick that up? She switches away there. And she takes the opportunity to launch some ordnance, and here comes the resupply. She is still alive.
Trevor down.
Trevor gets picked again. Heresy now looking at Tomat. Tomat goes down.
Yeah, same here. So the damage is a bit slow. Charlie is starting to fall, but they really, by the end of this phase, they want Charlie out of phaseable. Witch Doctor gets dunked here.
They do.
In a very, very bad spot. Will he get away? Run for it, Witch Doctor! Trevor, save him! Oh, Trevor still 3 clicks away, almost 4 clicks away. Witch Doctor is dancing here, managing to get some shields back. Trevor, you could really hurry a bit. What is Trevor doing?
But
he can't be bothered.
In this time, some morale coming in now, but this has been a long attack phase.
It has been a long attack phase, but not a lot of damage because Witch Doctor is busy evading, so no damage from him there. Tomato had been picked there as well. Now coming in, they are looking at Charlie with 25% there. Perhaps they can get it oopable. I hope they will, because that is, I think it is rather important. It seems to me like the damage from Empress Teta is a bit quicker than Coruscant's is, even though they were also not the quickest in dealing damage.
I agree. So Schnee is now moving in to get marks on the remaining cruisers. She will look to Delta, I think. Going evasive, but getting some heat. Witch Doctor is down in the meantime.
Schnee is dunked.
She is dunked.
Trevor has nothing to finish her off.
And Paddy is taking a lot of pressure from, I would guess,
Oh yeah,
from
Paddy
Mishka.
is picked.
Sorry,
Schnee dunked again.
An interesting Space
careful.
Sheriff here looking at
Trevor.
Mishka. And Heresy.
This is interesting. A lot of things are happening at once, but the morale is not looking quite good for Empress Teta at the moment.
No.
For Coruscant shift. Morale is not looking good for Coruscant shift. Mishka at 9 health gets dunked and down.
And David is very, very low. Is anybody on him? Can Paddy finish on his teammate? He's a long way away, and he's looking at David now, but I think David is still in, so he's got a chance if he can get him, but he needs to go around
back and gets the resupply. Well done.
And still, we have a good attack phase. So let's have a look at Ayla here. Ayla, one of the newer players, but has done absolutely great. She suffered with some technical issues in a couple of her early games, which but she did a fantastic job to not let that affect her and come back in and still contribute to 2 very important team wins. And she is in now, burning through that Nebulon frigate. She's taking some damage, though.
Somebody took the outer phase. That's probably one reason why morale... perhaps it was one of the farmers. I guess it was a witch doctor. Oh, Trevor in trouble. It's not Heresy. Heresy is on Paddy Batman.
Yeah, it's Space Sheriff, and...
It's Marcello. Oh.
Trevor is... twisting and turning like a twisty-turner thing, but those defenders have an awful lot of ordnance.
I don't know how that happened. All of a sudden it went rather quickly after the morale bar wasn't moving at all for like 2 minutes.
I think
but now there is the flip.
So Trevor has docked for a new ship. Ayla went down but is now back out. Yeah, so are we expecting to see a tractor beam on Trevor's U-wing? But no, not yet. He's come back out.
Not yet. No. He only uses tractor beam on flagship defense.
Flagship defenses, indeed. Don't tell
I'm not
anyone.
even quite sure about U-wing.
So let's have a look at Tamat. I haven't given him much love yet this evening, but he is in on that cruiser. Takes a bonk, though. That's unfortunate. Oh!
Ouch!
Come on.
Ouch!
Give us your signature. That's unfortunate. Graf, this is your...
Quite unfortunate. Is it my signature line?
Yes, go on, your tagline. Tell me. Say it.
Oh, and unfortunate bonk for Witch Doctor here, I wonder.
Really
at
low.
7 health.
But gets a resupply.
In fact, fortunate, but will it be enough? And he's constantly under pressure here. 20 again. Will Trevor be able to save him, or will Trevor say, "Oh, it's not"?
Another resupply comes in, and that means that Marcello switches across to a different target. He starts looking at Trevor to see if he can choke off those resupplies. Meanwhile, Heresy starts burning the Corvette. Paddy Batman has gone down, and Witch Doctor is doing some great damage on Delta. So will they burn through? They do. So we start our first
They do, because
attack.
I think it's the Corvette might actually have done it for them and taken the decision for them. But let's see if they can get shields. This is exactly the situation, especially on this map. You want to destroy, not only disable, you want to destroy one shield gen. And Witch Doctor, who is in a gunboat, I just saw him launch a protop. Ooh,
and he
gets
down.
completely obliterated, as does Trevor.
So can Tamat do some damage here? And what about the X-Wings?
Mishka dunked the shield gen there, but it was not disabled, even though it should have been marked. Perhaps do the marks wear off when the support player dies?
No, I don't think they do, but there goes the flip, and one shield gen
so
almost
unfortunate.
destroyed.
The shield gen it's at like 3 or something, but that should be an easy kill on the second go. That shouldn't hamper them too much.
Graf, what is that? Is that unfortunate?
It is. It might just be unfortunate. What might be fortunate, though, is that Empress Teta might have an almost full morale attack on the MC-75 as soon as they clear Delta. Delta at 15% at the moment, so no passive damage happening there. I wonder why Isla Insecura is flying in circles at the moment. Not quite sure what to do.
Possibly
Are they
some heat now.
Waiting for a coordinated attack? What is happening, actually?
They could be. Now, Marcello is trying to pick Tamat here. And Heresy has switched into a TIE fighter with repair and ion missiles. So what's the theory there, Graf?
That is interesting. I don't quite know. Perhaps Erisy had a feeling that he died too often, but he didn't. He has nine kills without deaths. I could understand if he had a double iron loadout, but I'm not quite sure why iron missile and repair kit.
And enormous amounts of PK pressure though, because Paddy has been down.
Yeah, and nobody is
down,
shooting at the MC-75.
And we now have a MC-75 attack. So what will the bombers be doing for the Empress Teta team? David is
they
actually...
won't have any marks. Schnee is just re-emerging from the depth of the ISD hangar, while we see Erisy looking at Paddy Batman getting caught in the tractor beam. Is that Trevor, or is it the MC's tractor beam, I wonder? Trevor
now switched to the tractor beam. So yeah, he's looking at Schnee with iron lasers, taking down Schnee's shields. Although Schnee's now down. Is there somebody backing that up? Schnee goes evasive, but Trevor's so good and he gets the dunk. Schnee down, there's an X-Wing on her. Can she survive? 40, 30, 20, then Schnee gets picked, surely. Yes, there she goes, and that's enough to flip the phase.
Down, and that is the flip,
what an
and we have both.
Phase.
Ooh, this is now very interesting. They opted to double disabling shield gens, and that means if this ISD attack takes long enough, shields will be back up. They did very, very little on the shield gens. One of them is at 80, nothing. The other one at 90 or something. So that was really not the greatest MC-75 attack any of us has ever seen.
No, they got the
but
shield gens dunked,
we've all had worse.
Yeah, they got the shield gens dunked, as you said, but then failed to actually do any hull damage once they had that. So Erisy on his defense here is looking at Mishka. Mishka's low. Can he get the pick? Mishka's also marked. Although Mishka manages to take power, and there goes Mishka.
Down on the ISD now. Now it is damage. Although I wouldn't rule out this team might just defend their MC-75 once more. But at the moment, we are looking at a very good situation for Coruscant Shift. They have both shields. They have all shields down. One gen is disabled. The other is destroyed. Power system is down. I see 3 breach points on the lower side. Paddy Batman is closing in to getting them, and they have half morale still. And ISD at below 30% now.
Yeah, but Tamat goes down. Witch Doctor is tracted. We have 3 X-Wings and a U-Wing and a Y-Wing now, but Tamat's down.
And there's the flip. All of a sudden, there was the flip.
Again, came in really, really fast. So the Empress Teta will go on attack, and I remind you, they need to win both of these games in order to tie the league up with 9 points. So they have to take this MC-75 on this phase, and they did no damage last time. So
somebody is still trying to out of phase, and that person is Paddy Batman, but Paddy Batman gets obliterated there, and I think will this be... I mean...
It looks like...
It is probably not the best approach actually ooping this, even though the ISD is low.
And the shields go down on the ISD. David is taking the shield gen, one of the shield gens down as the shields go, so they will make sure of the shield gens being down, but really they need to be doing hull damage here because they are likely to get another attack. They have to do it in this attack phase. They have plenty of morale. I believe, yep, it looks like Coruscant are trying the out of phase, but they are trickling in.
Yeah, Trevor just died trying to get a weak spot.
Morale is actually fine.
At 3%, the ISD is at fucking 3, pardon my French, at 3% here.
Yeah, and
Tomate is going in like, I don't know what. Shields are up though. They are very, very low, but they are technically up.
Pretty much 4 players down, and the MC-75 is at about 20%. David gets a resupply. He needs to get guns on that MC-75 and shoot the hull. Come on, David, let's go, let's go. He gets his rotaries going now.
Piercing Torp on the way. Piercing Torp is on the way. Which Doctor has launched the Piercing Torp?
But the MC-75 is at 4, at 3, at 2, at 1. The MC-75 is going to go down, and who got it? I don't know.
I don't know either, but I think it's the MC-75 that went down.
It is the MC-75. Wow, what a...
That is unfortunate, and I really do mean that.
What
a close game.
So
absolutely.
Let's take a quick look at the scoreboards. So Schneeflücken leading her own Empress Teta team there with 14 assists. Heresy with 11 kills, a real bloodbath, and nearly 70,000 capship damage. David with 51 AI and 56,000
25 kills, 26 kills, if I do the math correctly, by that team. That is, of course, very, very brutal.
It is. And yet...
might have harmed the fun a bit.
But we see this time and again, a very PK-heavy team, but they almost lost the match. This game is about...
They did, and even though, if you look at the AI, I mean, they have endless kills and a lot of AI, and still only barely won that. I mean, it would have been hilarious with those scores if they had actually lost it, but we can see that Heresy and Space Sheriff were both doing basically no hull damage at all. So, as we said mid-match already, the responsibility for the damage was really on the less experienced players, and that means it took them a while.
Yeah,
a while.
Very true. And over 100,000 capture damage, I think, for Witch Doctor. But that game was super close. I think the ISD must have been at 1. I mean, I think you were watching it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so.
I wonder, and of course, in retrospect, it's always easy to say, but since they had both shield gens, I wonder if they just might have held their ground if they had decided to concentrate on defense. On this map, the players are coming straight in. There is no cover.
Yeah.
Farming is a nightmare during the first phases, but during the flagship defense, I think farming can be rather fast. So they could have probably turned the tides and put Empress Teta into in the situation where they needed to quickly out of phase. But of course, we don't quite know. And with an ISD that low, I absolutely understand the decision to go in there. But of course, it is a bit unfortunate. And
it's very unfortunate. And I genuinely think that Coruscant shift team has been very unlucky. Trevor's
they
team,
have.
They've had a couple of really close games. But listen, we're going to get ready for the next match. That was a great game. The lobby will be up very shortly. I am going to see if I can force an advert to make sure that any viewers are not disrupted by an ad break in the next game. So let's see if I can run this advertisement, which
excellent
does seem
so
to be
I'll
happening.
mute myself for a minute.
Okay, we'll be back in 90 seconds.
Woohoo! When this time I do see the ad.
Okay, if you have been on an ad break, welcome back, and we will see. I'm running a prediction. I don't know if this works on my channel. I don't know. Maybe I can give people. Can I give people? There's a way of giving people channel points, isn't there? I don't know how to do that. But
get these channel points simply by watching for a time?
I believe that
I have 360 points.
I believe that that's true, but I think there is also a way of giving people channel points somehow.
Okay.
But I clearly don't know how to do that. But I will learn, and so far the betting is heavily in favour of Empress Teta with 2/3 of the vote, Coruscant Shift with 1/3. I think that's I think the last game was obviously super close, and that was with Empress Teta on the Empire side. Is the Empire side favoured on this map, Graf, do you feel?
Oh, that is a good question. Perhaps to a degree because getting the inside station pack during the opening flip takes a bit long for the New Republic. So I guess the TIE bombers usually reaching their packs faster than the Y-wings, plus that route this AI pack takes during the opener is probably in favor of Empire. And once you have that favor, you basically don't give it out of your hands again. But let's see. I mean, we have a slight roster change here on Schnee's team. We have Phoenix 2 in, and now it's that embarrassing situation again where I don't quite know who stepped. I think David stepped out. David was on this team, right?
David tends to only play new Empire, so I'm having.
Okay.
I am incapable of typing the password, it seems, so I'm not quite yet in the game. So do keep us going.
Oh, hurry! It's going already. We're starting now. It seems we have another roster change on Trevor's team. We have Isla and Secura out, and we have Dylan Comet in. So another change, both teams switching out one of their less experienced player for a fresh one. And let's hope that they can bring a new spirit into the team here, especially hoping that for Coruscant Shift, because they deserve a win here, at least in this game number 2, making this a draw. And while I'm talking, the MC-75 is emerging from hyperspace. Decoy Tango, where are you?
I'm here.
Are you coming?
Yes, I am on my way. What I am trying to do is to do something that I should have done before, which is to ensure that we know what the score is. So I am just updating the score.
Okay, yeah, well, that is a good point. Let me see what we have here loadout-wise. We have Witch Doctor moving in for a middle pack, not the best route to take. Mishka looking at Heresy. Heresy is in a Y-wing. That is probably an ICT bully Y-wing. I will have a look later. But
yes,
no iron. Well, probably no irons, unless I have primaries. My game is probably crashed. Yeah, my game has crashed.
Heresy has standard lasers on his Y-wing. Ayla is in her a Y-wing with a standard farm loadout. Schnee in support, of course, with the standard support loadout of resupplies and beacons. Marcello is looking at Comet here and gets the dunk and is going to dunk Comet, and Comet goes down. And a little bit of spice here, because I understand that Dylan Comet and Ayla are good friends. I'm not sure if that's in real life or through gaming, but they are on opposing teams tonight. And Marcello now switches across to look at Trevor. Twisting and turning, and morale again is very even here, right in the middle with 40 seconds to go in this opening.
Yes, it seems to be. That is interesting, and I don't see an Empire favor that far, although I think it is switching now, right? I'm only watching the stream at the moment because my game crashed.
Well, a lot of morale then comes in for the New Republic side, so now it's Coruscant Shift who are behind the curve here with 16 seconds to go. Morale in favor of the New Republic and Empress Teta, but no! A pick there on Heresy, and morale is even again, and we're going to have another short bar. So
Nice. In favor of who?
In favor of Trevor Revenge's Coruscant Shift team. So they have just over half a bar.
Oh, I'm back. That is nice. So they win the flips in both games, and that's really saying something against a strong team. But Phoenix 2 is taking pressure, taking the heat here. If they can shut them down. No, they haven't yet.
So Mishka is in the ion torpedo, ion missile TIE fighter, but his ion missile must have been chaffed, and he's actually back resupplying. So this is valuable time that their team is missing here. Dylan Comet goes down again.
Heresy is now in a farming loadout, so perhaps they chose not to bully as much as last game and send Heresy to farming. So no iron, not even ICT.
Sharper
Shields
says it's nice to see
Bravo.
Heresy in the Y-Wing. Not his favourite ship, exactly right, Sharper. But of course, Phoenix Zwei is a new player and prefers the flex role. And of course, Space Sheriff also a flex. So with only 5 players available now, I think one of Marcelo or Heresy had to switch across there. Mishka,
and I guess the call was Marcello can't fly anything else.
Very controversial. Graf Lucas
I'm good friends with him, I can say that. There is the flip, and Trevor is in a difficult spot there. He desperately wants to get marks on, but he also desperately wants to survive. Let's see what he decides to do.
And of course, it's Schnee that needs to get marks on the capital ships for the opposition, but she's back getting a resupply. So whatever is happening here, it is not happening with marks. And so far, no damage. A little bit of damage now coming into the iron shields of the cruisers here, but that's coming from passive damage, I think, and not really from players. So Schnee now comes in. She will be looking. She gets a resupply out to Space Sheriff and fires off those marks. So now. Also laying in her ion damage, which will strip the shields pretty quickly on Delta. The shield's almost down now. Schnee doing most of the work here with the shields, and shields go down on Delta. So a good job, and the bombers can start to go to work. So what can Heresy do in a Y-Wing?
That is the question. Shields down now. Paddy Batman on Marcello, but let's have a look at Heresy. Heresy is fighting the missile launcher of that cruiser. And out of Golos, though, it seems he needs a resupply for ordnance. Obviously, twisting and turning here.
Ayla coming in. She switched to a very aggressive torpedo loadout. So she has Golos and proton torps. So getting a good amount of damage in here. And the cruiser is at just tipping down at 66%. So good damage now.
Both shields down, though, so that is good for them. Ooh, and Phoenix 2 crashing here a bit, but surviving for now. Who is on them? Is it Mishka is on Ayla and Secura?
And Marcello on Paddy. Paddy's low. He's dunked, and Paddy goes down. Good pick from Marcello there, and that's the flip. And
indeed.
The Empress Teta team will now have to go on defense, and we will see what the Coruscant shift team can do on their second attack here. Both shields down, of course. Charlie taking a little bit of damage, and Mishka is quite low, but he's harassing Heresy, or Heresy, I should say.
They only had Heresy is on my team. They got both shields down. They didn't do too much damage, but since Empress Teta had a full morale attack and Coruscant only had half a morale attack, they basically did an even amount of damage. Oh, and Mishka gets jousts Heresy and doesn't survive it.
Not something you really want to do. Some pressure coming in on Dylan Comet now, but he gets the resupply. Can he get in and do some damage? Oh, and he's dunked into the station, and so unfortunate. Dylan Comet goes down.
Still, damage is coming in. Delta is Charlie is almost out of phaseable.
Yeah.
Raider is still up, though. That might bring a quick flip there for the defending team, and Raider is down now. So that is an out of phase secured, I would say.
Yep, it's at 10.
Trevor dancing here and looking at Ayla, or no, looking at Schnee. Support against support action.
And I'm just admiring Witch Doctor's orbits here. Some nice, not the sort of standard orbits, but some elliptical orbits around that Charlie frigate. Beautifully done, but is now low and must retreat. And there comes the call to fall back. And I'm riding with Schnee. Schnee needs a resupply again by the looks of it. She's used up all of her resupplies on that defense phase, which is interesting. But it means she can't.
Mishka is using a double torp TIE fighter at the moment. And got the outer phase easy with by launching a pro torp and a piercing torp at it. at it. Mishka with 11k damage, so it's not like he's doing that all the time, that loadout. Might run back. Oh no, interesting. He is going in and shooting his final torpedo at the other frigate.
So he now needs a resupply for ordnance. Paddy Batman
He
is
definitely
looking
does,
at
yeah.
Marcello on the defense here. Mishka goes down. Dylan comment.
Tactical suicide.
Could be.
I'm pretty sure, because I think he will want that iron loadout back.
I get you. So we're with Ayla, who is working down this frigate. It's at
careful.
24.
Golo away. She is back in a standard farm loadout, though. And Heresy gets dunked. Heresy gets dunked, is drifting towards the station, has a hard time recovering. Does recover, though.
Did he get a resupply in the midst of that?
No, I don't think he needed that.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I thought as I switched to him. So Mishka's burning the Corvette now. The Corvette, though, is at 80, and with it's a long time to burn a Corvette with a TIE fighter and burst laders, I can tell you. So I feel for you, my friend. I've done that many, many times. Paddy's not helping.
Witch Doctor is joining in the party, and I guess at this point they have muted Trevor, who is shouting, "Don't shoot the Corvette!"
And Paddy takes Phoenix down there to flip the phase, and they will go on attack once more. And Dylan is
Mishka
low
is getting a resub under the frigate, which is at 4%, so risky business there.
And Dylan is dunked. He needs a resupply, and he doesn't get it. Come on, Trevor, why aren't you resupplying?
No!
I'm not going to blame Dylan for that. I'm going to blame Trevor for not getting the resupply.
Let's blame Trevor. Let's always blame Trevor.
Always best to blame Trevor. Witch Doctor takes a bonk into the Nebulon there and is now at 48% hull, but we're seeing those lovely orbits again. Dylan will be out in a second. Paddy is looking at Space Sheriff.
Looking at my screen, I can tell there is a bit of lag, because Witch Doctor does not shoot straight.
Well, yeah, I saw that as well. But Heresy goes down to somebody. I didn't know who that was, perhaps.
Beautiful.
I mean, Mishka is doing OBJ damage, so whether that was Paddy that got the pick there, I'm not sure. Paddy is doing offensive PK. He's now looking at Space Sheriff.
And there we go. We have an MC-75 attack with half a morale phase. Let's see what they can do. I see Trevor doing whatever. There we go. Okay, Trevor has somebody on him. Marks are ready. Let's see if he can get them out. Power system gets destroyed.
Witch Doctor
is basically
really
dead.
Low and goes down. So
yeah, down, dead and down.
Dylan is some way coming in. Building up the boost tank for a run on the visual right shield gen. Sends out some ordnance.
One gen is disabled.
Oh, but a lot of heat from Dylan here. Dylan gets
careful,
dunked.
Dylan.
Mishka's also
Heresy
down.
on him. Tractor beam on him. That is not good. Trevor down.
Oh.
Everybody down.
That's unfortunate. So we have Trevor down, Dylan down, Mishka down, but about to come back out. And there comes the flip. And once again, Empress Teta will be on attack. Schneeflüchen this time, though, on her way in. She has marks ready.
Look at that. They did not collect the outer phase, even though the cruiser was at 4%.
They did not. What were they thinking?
They were probably too busy. They just were too busy, I guess. But now they can. The good thing is now they can wait for passive damage to do the job for them and go straight for the ISD, which is now up for attack.
But
Schneeflöckchen moving in there already and getting marks off.
Good morale management, though, as the farm already starts coming in. So even though they had a cruiser's the morale that you get 15 morale for taking that cruiser down, really the management there from Coruscant was perfect in that they didn't really get the benefit from that, and already morale is at sort of 2/3 with the farm still coming in. Schnee gets tracted.
And will Trevor ram kill her? Come on, Trevor, ram her! Oh, I'm disappointed.
I didn't see that, but there's some support action here. Schnee is marked. Trevor checks off that, though. And let's have a look at what Mishka can do here. Power goes down. Mishka's after Heresy. That's a tough target. Heresy now back in the X-Wing for this cap ship damage on the ISD attack.
I wonder if Space Sheriff doesn't have double irons. So well done. Heresy is an X-wing now as well. I was wondering if Phoenix 2 managed to dunk a shield gen, which would have been nice, but I guess it might have been Heresy and Mishka doing that. Heresy gets dunked here and down, and that brings the flip with 3 people from the Empress Teta team down, and the ISD at about 50%, which means it's now or never for Coruscant Shift. They need to destroy this MC-75 now, and they know it. Trevor 3 clicks out, though.
They do, and of course both
Witch
shield
Doctor
gens,
is in a defender.
Both shield gens are still intact on the ISD, so if they can extend this phase, the shield gens will come back up. And the MC-75 is one phaseable, as we all know. So let's rejoin the action and see what this Empress Teta team can do.
Witch Doctor was getting in position for a shield gen dunk with that defender of his and got killed the moment he wanted to shoot it.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that very much is, and the mark is gonna run off soon, and if they don't get the dunk on the second shield gen, they can pretty much abort this, because then this attack has ended.
Paddy coming under some pressure.
Yeah.
Dylan
same.
lining up the shield gen, but can't get under the shields here, and is then tracked in at 1, and Dylan goes down. Trevor down. Witch Doctor then is switched to a defender here. Lots of weak spot blisters opened up, and the shields are nearly down, but they don't have too much morale to work with.
No use. Shields are down now. Shields are down. Will they can probably pick some weak spots, but I don't think they can defend the ISD. Shields are coming back, though, so that's their only hope. This time they need a miracle defense.
Witch Doctor goes down, and you're right. So it's only Trevor that's alive here. Mishka, Paddy coming out. Dylan comes out. Witch Doctor still 10 seconds away, but we are going to have to defend. They are going to have to defend their ISD here, so this could be an exciting end. Shields are up on the ISD, and both of those shield gens are active still. So will they dunk them again, Graf, or do you destroy them now?
I would dunk them again, or probably even if they have enough people with iron, simply shoot down the bubble, which is what they've done now. And they have still more than half morale, and that's probably more than this team needs. Even though Marcello gets killed here,
and
morale at the middle now,
taking down the final shield gen. So the shield gens are dispatched.
Yeah, okay, that was unnecessary.
But they have,
at this point, it was for good measure.
Yeah, for good measure. And Ayla will go and pick up a resupply.
There we go.
Can go down, but there goes the ISD. Empress Teta take a close match. Good games, both teams, but it goes to Empress Teta, who take this series 2-0 and get the 3 points. Graf, take us through the scoreboard.
This time I'm taking a swing at the scoreboard. Again, we have 19 kills from Empress Teta, and among Heresy and Marcello. So Heresy was slowed down a bit by farming and doing OBJ there very successfully too. We see Trevor's Coruscant Shift very strong in the openings. They won both openings, but they couldn't quite follow through. The other team was a bit quicker and managed to catch up with them, and ultimately it was a series of very strong PK during the flagship attacks that brought the both of the games home for Empress Teta, who are now firmly again up there together with Corellian Spike leading the scoreboard.
They are, and I don't have an up-to-date scoreboard for people, but we can take a quick look now at the scoreboard as it was before this game, and we can add 3 points to Empress Teta, which takes them level in first place of the league with Corellian Spike. And now, Graf, it's up to your team, SABACC, to win your remaining 2 games.
No pressure.
And make it a 3-way tie. And I have a confession to make, League watchers. We have a real issue if Graf's team managed to secure those 2 victories, because the tiebreaker in the event of equal points in the league is that the head-to-head game And Corellian Spike beat Empress Teta, so at the moment, Corellian Spike would be ahead of them in the league still, despite them being on the same number of points. But if SABACC win both of their remaining games, they would have beaten Corellian Spike, which means that we'll have 3 teams on 9 points.
Oh,
and they've each
and
beaten
we
each
lost
other.
against Empress Teta.
Exactly.
We lost against Empress Teta. So, yeah. Oh yeah, that's sweet. That's sweet.
So we have a really interesting tie there. But what
I
fabulous
suggest
game!
capture damage done by coins as the tiebreaker.
Well, that would not be a bad suggestion. So I would.
But let's worry about that once we get there. I wouldn't say I expect this to go our way easily. So it will be two very sweaty and difficult matches, which we are looking at the moment. So let's see.
Yeah, well, but super fun. 2 really close games. I think when we did the draw for this competition, Graf, I was really struck with how even the teams looked. And every team looked pretty scary because of the top tier players in there. But it's been really interesting to see how it's played out. Admittedly,
absolutely, and that's why I'm a bit disappointed that Trevor's Coruscant shift couldn't quite secure that. It was so close in game number 1, and they would have deserved it, because if you look at the table now, it looks like these 2 teams which are currently at the bottom, if they were so much worse than the teams that are higher up in the standing, and that's truly not the case.
Yeah.
A lot of games were very, very close.
I agree, and it's the same with Centron, as you say. They have played some super close games, and the captain of that team, Silence, really has done a great job with his team, fielding a lot of new players as well. He's been very wholesome in that regard, and that's been super. But I think they've been on the wrong end, both those teams, of some very close matches. We are joined.
Yeah, and we are joined.
We are joined by Paddy Batman and somebody just coming up on my
Tomato
screen.
and Trevor.
And it's Trevor, yes. Is it? He's maybe playing with me. Guys.
Trevor, you're in streamer mode.
Yeah, maybe. So, Trevor, tell us about that. How was that for you? Graf and I thought that you were unlucky in those games. Very tight match in game 1 and a pretty close one in game 2 as well.
Yes, indeed. You bet. Yeah, very exciting matches yet again. The getting down of a flagship shield continues to be our Achilles heel, but I think we played a great match other than that. And we even tried to out-phase an ISD this time, which very nearly worked. Very near.
Well, I mean, that game was super close. I was watching the MC75 at that point, but the ISD must have been at 1 or 2, right?
It was 2, yes. I think, yeah.
2. Okay. And we did watch on stream. Unfortunately, you guys were trickling in. That was pretty tough on that ISD outer phase. Do you think it would have made a difference if you defended? Because Graf and I, between matches, were speculating as to whether you had enough hull in your flagship to defend.
It's certainly a potential that we could have. But you know what? You just never quite know these things. And the fact that we saw so many weak points on the ISD led us to believe that was also a good decision. So we knew that it was, just pick a lane. And we went for one that certainly had a chance of victory. So I don't know. Yeah, it's certainly possible a defense might have eked us out better. But an attack was definitely winnable as well.
Yeah, we're being harsh on you, Trevor.
Absolutely. No, that wasn't the point. It's always in retrospect you wonder would the alternative have been better. I completely understand the call because the ISD was rather low to begin with, but then you were a bit unlucky. Shields came back up.
Yeah.
You had some piercing torps which were probably even intercepted, because at one point I saw somebody shoot a piercing torp, but then all I saw was shields going down, but no hull damage. So I suspect the piercing torp must have been intercepted and someone else must have gotten the shields down again. So yeah, it was unfortunate. It was very, very close.
Yes.
You played well, and congratulations to winning the openers in both games there. So that was really a very contested openers there in both games. They both went to time, but you came out first.
Second opener.
Really?
I think I'm the only person on the team that actually realized we won that second game opener. Everyone else was completely on the wrong side of the map. I'm like, guys.
Yeah, and I have to say, I think sometimes on Fosterhaven in particular, if you win the opening with a short bar, I'm not sure it's a huge advantage. But
yes, perhaps that was a meta play by them to give us just enough of an opener win. Yeah.
Yeah. So Paddy, I saw you beating up some of the newer players there, you naughty boy.
So I tried to learn my lesson from the last time, and it was kind of like, okay, dunks are okay, kills are not okay. So there was a couple of times where I think I was on Ayla. I was like, I'm going to dunk, and then I'm going to be the bigger pilot and leave. At least that was the thinking.
Nobody thanks you for that.
No,
nobody thanks you for that. In fact,
probably
the pilot is in fact the bigger pilot is actually a larger target. Did you know that?
That might also explain my death count. So fair observation. Yeah.
To Matt, so great work from you. How was the game for you? Did you feel a lot of PK pressure? We've seen a lot of these SABACC games being absolute bloodbaths, and one of the things again that Graf and I were talking about at half time was the amount of kills that came in from the Empress Teta team, but yet the game was still really close because, as we know, you win the game by securing capship damage, and that's what you do, my friend.
Yeah, but this time I wasn't able to bring in much capship damage, also due to the PK pressure. So I think I died maybe 8 times, two times during doing the ISD out of phase attack, which I mean I flew, I went in there and then I was just turned into dust immediately. but yeah, I felt the pressure this time, but. I would have liked to do more capship damage, but I wasn't able to. And farming is hard on Fosterhaven.
Yeah, absolutely. Farming sucks.
Yeah.
But it was fun to play, and yeah. Congratulations to the other team.
Thank you for playing a part in an amazingly entertaining game. I think that we've had a lot of games in this SABACC tournament that have been super fun to cast, super fun to watch. We've brought in some new players to the competitive scene as well, and I want to give a massive shout out to them. I thought Ayla played really, really well today, as did what I understand her friend in Dylan Comet. And I'm trying to think of the other coins that played tonight. Phoenix, yeah, as well. They did absolutely great. I hope that everybody that's played has had fun, because this has been a super fun tournament to be involved with from my point of view. So thanks everybody for making it such good fun.
Absolutely. I have one final question for the team. Did you all have Trevor muted at some point? Because everybody was shooting radar, and I thought, no, that can't be right. Trevor, they must have disregarded Trevor's orders.
The footage. You'll find that at that moment, Trevor was conveniently dead. So,
what Trevor doesn't know, Trevor can't.
Yes, the main thing to know playing on this team is that what Trevor doesn't know won't hurt him.
Yeah, you spent some time in the hangar as well, unfortunately, I guess, especially in game number 1. I'm just looking at the screenshot from game number 1 there, but again, Ersi and Marcello are quite the brutal combination. Well done keeping up with them and making it that close still.
That's a hard PK lineup definitely to face up against, and you guys did well. Again, I hope you've had fun, Trevor. I think with both you and Centron have been on the end of some unlucky matches that have been super close, and things could have turned out differently. But we do end up with the prospect of having a 3-way tie at the top of the division, which I think for the first running of this competition is great. I think I can speak for Shanice. Shanice had to go, but I think I can speak for her and say that we would like to run the tournament again. It's been super fun, but we will be looking to make some amendments to try and make the games even closer and even more balanced. For players of the tournament, we will be sending out a short post-competition survey which will go out on Sunday, and I'm hoping and thinking that the remaining 2 games will be played as a double header tomorrow night, which is super exciting because both of those games involve the team captained by my co-caster tonight, Graf. Lucas, Graf, how are you feeling about it?
Very nervous, and I hope I will have a team there with more than 3 or 4 players. that would be awesome, and let's see how it turns out. Again, I have some players who haven't even played yet. I would like to bring them in, and let's hope we get a good team and we get a lot of fun there. And we've already faced up against Empress Teta and their pack of murders, but then I know that Coruscant Spike, with Fabian Hunter and Darkblade leading that team, they are very strong. There is a reason they are on top of the board for the moment, and Centron should never be underestimated as well. Therefore, I'm looking forward to those games. I'm very happy we have already won one of our games. And of course, if we win that would be perfect. Let's see how it turns out.
I think you're the dark horses of the tournament. You've kept your to use the metaphor of the SABACC tournament. I think you've played your cards pretty close to your chest so far, Graf, and you can come on strong in those last 2 games. I'm backing you to win both of the matches tomorrow and for us to have a 3-way tie at the top of the tournament.
Hang on. Aren't you flying in one of them?
Well, I mean, I might fly or I might cast. I'm not sure yet.
He usually gets benched by his team captain.
I know, right? I know. I the message is getting through to me slowly, and every time that Graf casts one of my games, he says, well, Deco Tango has been benched again. That's unfortunate. So there we go. Okay, we're going to close out the stream here. Thank you, guys, for such an entertaining match and for playing your games. All of your games are complete now, so we just have the matches hopefully tomorrow between Coruscant Spike and Jabak and Centron. Somebody will be streaming those, and I think the plan is that they will run at around about 7. The first game will definitely be 7:30 p.m. UTC tomorrow, Friday, and I think there's a high chance that the second game will follow shortly after that. So
I hope
to see you tomorrow. Graf, thank you very much as ever for joining me on the stream. Graf is
my pleasure.
Star Wars casting royalty. It's great to have you here.
Yay.
Viewers, thank you very much for joining us. Hope you've had a good day. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Come back tomorrow for the remaining 2 games, and have a great Friday tomorrow, and we will close out the cast there. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you for casting.
Remember to don't forget the what's it called? Prediction.
Oh, I didn't settle the prediction. Thank you. How on earth do I do that? And here we go. Empress Teta won the outcome there. So thank you very much. The prediction is completed. Thank you, Graf. I completely forgot. I forgot to run that before. So thank God you're here, Graf. You're an absolute legend. Ladies and gents, thanks for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed this cast of the SABACC tournament. My thanks to my co-caster, Graf Lucas, and to the players of Empress Teta and of the Coruscant shift. We'll be back tomorrow night for the final 2 games. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Roll credits.
Roll credits. Trevor out.